Good morning. Welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 6th of September. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, the euro dollar's pretty range bound at the moment. It hasn't really, it did break out a little bit beyond the previous day's range, which was pretty minimal because of the bank holiday Monday, or the Labor Day, should I say, for the Canadians and the US. Um, Yes, they didn't do much different, and we're sitting there here still in that sort of tight range at the moment, not showing too much clue to which way this market's going to run at the moment. So on that basis, it makes it pretty tricky to trade. If the fake outs, if you like, certainly occurred yesterday afternoon. It did would have given some points in terms of what I was looking at, but it just didn't give a setup. And that's the way these markets work sometimes. They just run really quickly all of a sudden, and you think, well, yeah, I could have traded that. Well, it's not very easy to trade in reality. And as you can see, choppy old market. It's been choppy now. It's full day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday's following suit so far. So that's the way it is, and that's what we've got to deal with. Already caught the daily pivot there. There is a potential with us being on the more bullish side of that daily pivot, the upside, for us to run up towards yesterday's highs, the R1 today. We'll see how we run post 8 o'clock on that, but we'll be looking at that. Maybe we just look at the break of the trend highs. A little trend line can be drawn across the highs there. Look for something like that, but this, as I say, it's a bit of a possibility, but the way it's chopped over the last couple of days, I don't have a lot of trust in it. There are no European figures to be released today or speakers programmed, so there's nothing from the European side. There was very little to come out from the US side last night. We do have the US services PMI, or non-manufacturing PMI as they prefer to call it, coming out 3 p.m. this afternoon. One thing that may create some volatility is if the hurricane pushes on towards Florida and is mapped into that, there may be a slight downturn in the dollar from that aspect, but that may have been the bumper that just pipped up the prices yesterday afternoon. But there we go. So that's where we're sitting at the moment, the euro. Indecisive, to be fair. But we can only look at what we're seeing here. Now, the pound was a bit more positive yesterday, but quite almost a bullish engulfing candle in there where it looks like a bullish engulfing, which could see a bit of follow through. But the first thing in the morning, well, we often see a bit of a retrace as we get profit taking and again, uncertainties running through. We have got the daily pivot, which could be quite a draw this morning. Just watch how we react off these 60-21s first. But it did push up beyond anything else yesterday. It's a solid old day, really running from sort of 11 o'clock onwards yesterday and pushing on through. Not a lot of opportunities to join the party, but there were some late on. But anyway, today we'll see how we run, as I say, run from these 21s. If you start getting a bounce off these, we could look back towards the highs. They've already been tested. A push beyond those is possible. There are a whole bundle of sell orders that sit above these sort of areas here, so there is supply at this point above us. So prices running up there could just run into quite a lot of supply and be stunted effectively in terms of their potential. Any sell-off here? Well, actually, there is a bit of demand below, but we'll see how that works and whether we get a continuation. But if it does start selling off proper, well, the daily pivot may be further down to the 34, 50, or 50 moving averages, may be reasonable targets below. That's the pound. So, as I say, looking a little bit softer this morning to start with. Dollar yen. It yesterday had a bumper day again. It's pretty much like the pound. It's solid movement there, retesting these prior lows here. It's again tested them this morning. We didn't manage to break last time. Is the possibility it may not break this time or manage to close down below. But when you're looking at this, it's there's no real clues yet in terms of whether we're going to see reversals. Short term, it's sort of there. There's the Bank of Japan speakers there were saying there's no point trying to aim for 2% inflation when none of the other majors are really getting anywhere near it. So there's a bit of common sense coming through the market. It's amazing, but it's probably softened it slightly, but not massively. Again, we've got the daily pivot, in this case above, so any softening of the currency, any dollar strength may see us push up towards that area. Just needs to get through the 21s first. So dollar yen, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, well, again, it spends a lot of time in chop of late. It did actually get a good surge in through yesterday. It's not one of my personal favourites to trade because of the often the choppy Asian session continues through into the earlier London. But yesterday afternoon it pushed up nicely. As we're sitting here, it's given back all those afternoon gains at the moment, and well, it's already through the daily pivot. At this rate, we're almost breaking. In fact, I think we've just broken the prior lows there, so it's confirmed a lower high in there, which if it continues selling off this morning, maybe we'll be back down towards the weekly pivot, which is that S1 area, daily S1 area. So there is a possibility it may just sell off and it can't hold on to the gains at the moment. This could all change obviously very early as we start trading, but we'll see. Canadian dollar, yesterday didn't give me any setups back for the weekly pivot, which I'm looking for, but we may get something more this morning. It's sort of broken a near-term trend on the hourlies. There's a trend line running across. You can barely see it of the moving averages that's overlapping it. If it starts breaking up beyond the highs of through the Asian session there, maybe we'll run up and start heading back towards that weekly pivot. But we do need to see a bit of dollar strength coming through for that to succeed. At the moment, it's not really there in any strength, but who knows as the day moves on. At the moment it's erring, and it may be just safe waiting to see what the progress it makes this morning. But as I say, if it starts breaking through and it starts looking like it's got a bit of momentum behind it, I'll be trading that towards that weekly pivot. Okay, that's pretty much it for me on the majors that I'm looking at in terms of news today. We've already had the Australian GDP data coming out 2:30 this morning, which came broadly in line with expectations, still up on previous years, and the annual figures still looking reasonably good. We've got some Canadian data at 1:30 today. We've got trade balance, etc. May create a bit of volatility around the trade balance there at 1:30. And then more importantly for Canada, there's the Bank of Canada rate statement at 3 p.m, which they tightened up a bit last time. It's whether or not anything will happen. There's no great expectations. Overnight rates expected to be left at 0.75. As I say, we've got the US services figure, which are non-manufacturing numbers coming out at 3 o'clock, which could give us a bit of volatility then, and that can be a bit of a mover. So some things to look forward to today, mainly this afternoon in terms of news. So have a great day. Bye for now.